Good morning, garden friends. It is Thursday, June 2nd, 2022. It's been a couple of weeks since my last garden tour, so I wanted to bring you in, show you what's going on. There's been lots of changes since I last filmed. I've gotten lots of things in the ground, and we've gotten blooms, and things are coming along nicely. So I want to start you at this end of the garden. If you didn't see my last quick update, the exciting news is that we are going to have mulberries for the first time from two of my three bushes have mulberries on them. So I'm hoping that I can beat the birds to them and make some mulberry jam this year. This row, the Baptisia, is in bloom. I'm not making bouquets with it because there's nothing else in bloom, but that's okay. With Baptisia, the flower stalks will get seed pods on them that are great for interest in bouquets, and the foliage is also great for use in bouquets. So I will be able to use these plants throughout the season. I'm excited over here. The Eryngium that I planted from seed last year is going to flower. So they're a pretty blue, which is hard to find. The Liatris is coming up great. I finally got in and removed all of the old growth from last year. Over here in this row, I've got a lot of alliums here in another row over. I'm gonna let the blooms fade. You can see they're on their way out. Again, there was nothing blooming to use them with, but these pods I will pick, and I can use those in arrangements for interest. And then at Christmas time, these are great to spray paint gold and silver, and you have some good Christmas decorations. I've got some gladiolas popping through here. I need to get them mulched. The daffodils have gone by, sadly. I'm going to let them do their thing. They are gathering energy now for next year. And then once they die back, I can use this garden space for other things. This is garlic, which I'm very excited about. I have never had garlic looking this good this early in the season. This is the third or fourth year that I've been using my own bulbs, and so they are acclimated well to our climate, and we should get some pretty huge cloves of garlic out of this batch. Here we have zinnias that I transplanted. They are looking really sad. They should have gone into the ground way earlier than they did. But look at this guy. I have a zinnia. It was actually open in May. So I had a zinnia in May in zone 6A. I am going to come through and I will let some of them flower, but I will pinch some of them as well to encourage bushier growth. There's more sunflowers down there. So, so far so good on those. This next row is the first row of tomatoes that got planted. And they are looking really great. I won't show them to you individually. I will do a separate tomato tour, but I did want to point out that this is the Sartre Rouloir. It's a funky tomato. It's kind of creamy with some purplish shoulders, and I've already had blossoms on those. So that one's going to be an early tomato. The Black Crim has some blossoms on it. So they're doing really good. They're looking so healthy. This next row is all dahlias all the time, the first of two dahlia rows. I need to come through and pinch the taller ones again to encourage branching and strong plants. So here we have marigolds, and then under the cages we have more sunflowers. I had a bunny who was munching away, so I wanted to protect the smaller ones. These sunflowers are already showing signs that they're going to be flowering soon. I'm personally hoping they do it within the next 2 weeks, because I would really love to get sunflowers for end of the year teacher bouquets, but I just don't know if that's going to happen. These are actually further along, and they were planted after the ones I just showed you. But yeah, so far the peach, I mean, look at the difference. These are the peach Pro Cuts, and these are others like White Light, and they're just, I mean, look at the difference. The peach is doing so much better, and the Bupleurum is doing great. We're gonna have some yellow, look at, they're getting ready. All right, again, this next row is more tomatoes. These were actually put in the ground a week or two after the other row I just showed you. So they're a little smaller. They're not looking quite as vigorous yet, but they will. The snapdragons are doing well. I need to get them mulched. This is feverfew that I planted last fall, and it overwintered, so this is going to be coming soon. I've got some Sweet Williams that are doing their thing early. I wish the stems were a little bit longer, but it is what it is. I've got some empty room in here, which is where the next batch of glads are going to be planted. More snapdragons. The Orlea is looking beautiful. This overwintered in the fall, and it's just too early. I don't have anything else to use it with. So I think next year I will just be spring planting it, and we'll be fine. So this row is kind of spotty. This was a lot of cool season hardy perennials, and I need to get in and fill in the blanks. We've got more snaps here that are doing well. For some reason, I have cilantro everywhere in this row. I have no record of actually planting it, but it's interspersed with all my ranunculus, which are not as tall as I would like them to be, but it's my first year with ranunculus, so we'll see. We've got another sowing of Bupleurum here. More spotty, cool season plants. I have no idea what this is. I'll have to consult my garden map. It looks like it's being eaten by something, though. More snapdragons. More Sweet William. Again, some spottiness in here where my cool season flowers were. I've got Bells of Ireland at the very end, and yarrow in the middle. More yarrow here. I've got some basil that I just put out, and then all of those are cosmos, so they are looking great. This is the second row of dahlias. This time last year I was just planting out. This year I pre-sprouted them inside, and I'm really excited about how far advanced they are compared to last year. So I'm really hoping for dahlias earlier in the season this year. This is one of 4 rows that haven't been dealt with yet. I'm trying to cut down on the weed pressure with the cover, so we'll see how that goes. This is a row of perennial flowers. I've got Artemisia that's kind of taking over, but once I start making bouquets, it will kind of keep that in check. The columbine is in bloom. I really don't use it, so I'm thinking that that's coming out in the fall. Here we have purple and yellow irises. These were all rescued from in front of this property and then the house we're currently living in. they just weren't blooming. They were so squished and crowded. So I brought them up here and put them in the garden. And this is the second or third year that we've gotten really, really nice blooms out of them. I need to find another spot for them because they are not, I don't use them in bouquets. They're out of sight here, so nobody gets to enjoy them, and I need the garden space. And the same thing goes, these are yellow lilies, and so I'm gonna have to find room for these so that I can have another row of bouquet flowers. This row I'm actually gonna plant today as soon as I finish this video. There's several warm season varieties that I'm putting in here. They're all going to be for cut flowers. This is my first planting of Glads, so it's doing nice. I've got some more tomatoes in. They went in at about the same time as that second row I showed you. So there's tomatoes and then there's basil in between. And I actually have 2 stakes at the end that are empty, so I'm trying to decide which 2 of my leftover tomato plants are going to go in there. And then I have 2 more rows that are waiting to be planted with successions of sunflowers and zinnias and who knows what else I'll come up with. So as you can see, we've got some good growth. The plants have been enjoying the weather. We missed predicted rain last night, but hopefully it will hit us tonight, which is why I want to get those plants in the ground today. But yeah, we're still several weeks away from bouquets, but I'm excited about what this season is going to bring. I'm trying several new types of flowers. I have twice as many bells of Ireland that I had last year, and more bupleurum, and just really excited about what this season is going to bring. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you're having any issues in your nearby garden, let me know. This is the sweet spot in the gardening season because most of the stuff is in the ground. The weeds haven't taken over yet and the insects haven't arrived. So this is the best time to enjoy the garden, I think. All right, hopefully we'll have another update for you mid-June. I know myself enough to not promise weekly updates, but I think every other week is a nice time because there's actually a lot of changes that occur in the garden that are, you know, good to see. All right. Thanks for joining me. Have a good week. Bye-bye.